Hi everyone, and welcome, and thank you for being a part of this talk today. So, since I've already sent the agenda out to everyone, I would like to start with introducing Tara. So, I'm sure that most of you guys already know her, and she's been in Dubai and been practicing for the last 6 years. And I'm sure you guys would have had a wonderful experience with her, as have I. So, a little bit about Tara and me. So, I was introduced to her in 2018 by a very close friend of mine. And let me tell you, ever since then, there's been really no looking back. The change in me in the past 2 years has been really, really distinct. Like, it's something that everyone around me has actually noticed and even mentioned it to me. And it's not been the easiest of journeys, but Tara has made it so comfortable for me. Like, she's always been there and always had my back, and always holding my hand through each and every step. So funny thing, we've never met each other. We've only seen each other, I think, twice, or no, like 2 sessions, the first two video calls. And ever since then, we've just been, having conversations. And it just makes me realize that, you know, the bond that, you can share with someone is nothing to do with just being in front of anyone. And I think this particular relationship that I share with her is something that has cemented it. Like, like I mentioned, I just feel like I've known her for so long. It's crazy. So the I think the reason I've been able to grow and even work as much on myself as I have been able to is because Tara comes from a very loving and neutral space. And this space actually helps me to be more open with not only myself, but also with her. And I feel that being open with ourselves is more important, So I think being true helps us grow and, at least know what's wrong and then work on that. So a little thing about how she comes from a neutral space. So once I had a little bit of a fit that I threw, a tantrum, where yeah, now that I look at it in the hindsight, it was a complete tantrum about something to do with some very trivial matter. And she was so kind and loving. She like really just was so lovingly. She explained the whole situation to me and also said that why don't you look at something that maybe you're holding a charge and maybe something about that. And of course, as always, she's always right. But the fact that because she's been the way that she's been, it's just easier for me to always know and believe that she comes from this space, and it helps me. So yeah, and I'm so grateful for her because okay, so this talk and being a part of this talk is actually an intention that's coming true for me, which was like what, for the past 6 years. So when I was 23, I had this intention that, I would like to get into stuff like this and, so on and so forth. And it just happened. Like, I don't know, like I think 2 weeks back, we just randomly had this, conversation and she said, yeah, okay, let's do it. And I'm just so grateful to her, for letting me be a part of, a this change, like right now there's so much is happening in the world and there's such a much needed change that needs to happen. And I'm just really grateful that she's letting me be part of this. So I'm really extremely happy for those who are new. Trust me, you guys will go through a beautiful, really nice, fun journey trip with Tara. And for those who have worked with her in the past, I welcome you guys back. Um, Having said that, before I ask Tara to take over, I would just like to quickly touch upon our question and answer section. So right now, Tara would start her talk, and after that, we would have the question and answers, wherein I would request you guys to please send in your questions to me via chat, and your questions will be answered in the order in which they have been submitted. So during the time that your question is being answered by Tara, should you feel that, you need to have some clarification or even, converse with her at that point of time, please do let me know. And then I will unmute you for that part of the uh, conversation. Also, a humble request to all of you guys, please put your mics on mute and your video off because it will just be easier. So yeah. So thank you so much. And without any further delay, I would Please let Tara to start the talk. Thank you.
Hey, hi everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome. Divya, those were beautiful words, really heartwarming. Thank you so much. It was like interesting when you quoted that incident. That was quite a turnaround on your part. So, so like Divya mentioned, the intent for this talk actually came from um, us chatting one day, and then she mentioning to me, why don't we do it? And then finally, I felt guided to do it. I work with energies. The ones who know me, they know that I work with energies and I total space of surrender. So I did feel guided to move forward with it. And of course, the reason is right now, whatever is happening in the world, there's a huge amount of these are very interesting times, actually. I was speaking to my son the other day and I was saying, my God, we don't even need any of these movies or anything. You know, there's such interesting stuff that's taking place right now, literally. So these are such interesting times. However, at the same time, quite troubling as well because of what's happening around us. And I'm sure a lot of you have found yourself in a space where, you know, you feeling the need to speak to someone and you don't know who to speak to or even how to speak, because a lot of us have that thing around, don't know how to speak what to speak. And so this platform is actually going to be, interactions, exchange of ideas. For the ones who don't really want to speak, you can just sit back and relax and listen in. And this is just the first of a series of talks that we're going to be doing. Um, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be finding it interesting because I'm going to be going deeper and deeper into, you know, how and why things don't work for us on the outside. And that's a pretty hot topic for everyone because everyone wants, to live the life that they truly desire on the outside. And we are not able to do that, and it becomes really difficult, and we really don't know why. So we're going to be seeking answers to that. Um, However, I feel it'll be a good idea, to just center our energies right now by way of breath. So if everyone's fine with it, we can just close our eyes, and it's just going to help us clear our channels and, balance your chi. So let's do that. Closing the eyes will enhance your experience. So go ahead and do that if you feel comfortable in that. And we'll just start off with some breath. So a nice deep in breath, breathing in and breathe out. Breathe in and release. Breathing in and letting go, letting go, letting go of any thoughts, any worries, any anxieties that may be holding space. Breathe in and release. With this in breath, the cosmic energy which is all around us enters us from your crown in the form of a beautiful beam of white light, moving down the side of your head, moving down the back of your head, moving down your forehead. Relax. Moving down the side of your neck, down your shoulders. Let's not forget to breathe. So nice deep breaths, breathing in and breathe out. As you breathe in, holding the breath for a few counts helps. Just centering yourself. So breathe in, hold, 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 release. Breathing in, feeling this beautiful white light move down from your shoulders to your arms, moving down your wrists, covering your palms, straight down to your fingertips. Beginning to feel calm now, as it now moves down from your forehead to your face, giving your face a beautiful vibrant glow. Moving down to the back of your neck, relax. Trickling down into your spine, spreading all over your back. Feel the warmth, pure healing cosmic energy. This is what everything is made up of. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in. The in-breath ensures that this beautiful light goes deeper and deeper into your being. And with the out-breath, just let go of any anxieties, any worries, any happenings of the day. Place them on the side. Breathing in. Bringing yourself to a nice space of center, balance. Feeling this beautiful healing divine energy now move down to your palms, moving straight down to your fingertips. From your face, it now moves down to your throat, removing and releasing any clogged energy, moving down straight into your heart space. See your heart beautifully lit, emanating white rays of golden white light. This is the seat of the spirit. Just focus there for a moment and feel how light and fluffy it feels. It now moves down to your solar plexus. Relax. Feeling more and more calm and relaxed now. As it now moves down to your pelvis. Moving down your thighs, down your knees, down your calves, moving down your ankles, the arches of your feet, straight down to your toes. Feeling it in your being, completely, totally, fully, as it now starts to spread around you into your auric field and clearing off any blocked energy there, sealing it and just encircling it. Feeling nice and centered and relaxed now. I'm going to go ahead and set an intent for today's talk. For those of you who would want to join in, you could just repeat after me in your own space. I claim my right to living the life of my highest excitement. I claim my right to living the life of my highest excitement. I claim my right to living the life of my highest excitement from here on. So it is. you can just bring your attention to the present moment now. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. Thank you. That felt nice. I feel really expansive in my heart space. So setting the intent for anything is really important, because you being the electromagnetic field, you send out a very strong signal. Can we have the mics off, please? Thank you. Thank you. So it just brings you into a space of beginning to create on the outside. And the topic of today's program is that of creating your highest excitement on the outside. And like I had spoken, and I was saying that we find it really difficult, don't we? Because we feel we just have to be at it, and then even then it does not come into fruition. And we continue to wonder what is the reason, and we give it multiple reasons. Some people say, oh, it's karma, or some kind of a redemption I'm needing, or whatever. However, I'm going to be speaking about what has been handed down to me and how it's worked in my life and in so many others, the ones who I'm working with. So for that, we will be needing to look at and understand a little bit of quantum. Don't get worried. I am just going to be using simple language here for all of those who are new, so as to bring everyone onto the same page. So, and we'll go back way back into the early 1900s, around the 1930s, when quantum was really accidentally discovered. What I mean is it actually accidentally was discovered by a group of scientists, the likes of Nikola Tesla and Einstein, and they finally substantiated with a set of other experiments that they conducted, and finally they came upon this understanding, which you and I today know as, is that everything is energy. And the energy which is made up of the particles, the smallest particle today that is discovered is nano. So everything is made up of these atoms and nanoparticles, and these nanoparticles travel in the form of waves. This energy is what you and I are made of. So we are energetic beings holding this electromagnetic energy. And this field is what determines what I am going to be experiencing on the outside. And you must be saying, how is that possible that this field determines what I'm going to be experiencing on the outside? Now, there's a quantum bylaw, which is the law of attraction or the law of resonance, which says that whatever it is that I'm feeling, thinking, being, or fearing, fear is a big word here, is what I'm going to be pulling to me. Because it has to be like vibrations, is what I can hang out with. Let me say that, yeah. So why? Because for those of you who've been working with me for some time, you know this, that there's nothing but a vibrational signature frequency that you are made of, which comes from the beliefs and the programs that you are holding inside you. And then the emotions thereof, which is that of any kind of hurt or sadness or a feeling of lack or whatever. Now, all of this that is being held in the energy field is what is attracting to it. So it kind of has a particular signature vibration. And this signature vibration is what you are going to be experiencing on the outside. So anyone who does not match that signature vibrational frequency cannot be in your energy field. You won't even come across that person. So you won't even be able to interact with those people. So, so with this quantum bylaw coming into being, now we need to look at, okay, what are these beliefs and how do they get formed? Because I've spoken about beliefs and programs and what really they are. So beliefs are nothing but a set of emotional responses to certain experiences that have taken place. And after a set of these responses, so it does not, a belief doesn't get formed by just one emotional response. Yeah, for a belief to be fully set in as a template, it needs to have a number of such experiences, and that's when it gets formed fully. So it gets cemented then. So these set of emotional responses then finally form a program, and a belief is somewhat like I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy enough, or I'm not loved, or I'm not needed. And versus a program which would be, I do not trust life to bring to me ease and flow. Or no matter what I do, I'm not going to connect with success. I'm not going to make it. Even though how hard I'm trying like my level best to do things. Guys, can we just request for you to just please switch off your video? Thank you. Um, so no matter how much we are trying, we're not going to get there, you know. So let's look at why these beliefs set in. So for that, we'll talk about a child being born, and the child is starting to interact as it is coming into the world, is starting to interact with the outer life. Yeah, and the outer life is its primary caregivers, the siblings, and its immediate family. Yeah. So as the child is interacting with the family, let's take a scenario of the parents being, let's say there's an abuse scenario that's going on wherein the parents are sort of bickering and, you know, having certain arguments all the time and all of that. So the child is experiencing that on a daily basis, day in and day out. What then starts to happen is, as the child is experiencing that, and because the child does not have any other basis to any other way of being, it feels this is normal. So what happens is, right from age 0 to age about 5.5, the subconscious mind is what is operating. Your conscious mind, which is your screen guard, yeah, on the phone, is not fully on board. And why am I using the analogy of a screen guard on the phone is because that's a protective mechanism, which means your rational mind is there and you're able to rationalize through a hurt. You know, you're able to say, no, that does not mean it that way. He's probably just tired and that's why he's being this way or whatever. So versus the 0 to 5, where everything is being taken in acutely. And this is like, you know, the child is moving around like in a hypnotic trance. And 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 we know how we treat children, you know, small children. We feel they don't even understand anything, but no. About 80 to 90% of the blueprint of your entire life is being written down there. Can you believe it? So then what happens is, as the child is moving on and growing up, the child then starts to interact with the outer, you know. So the friends and the school and, you know, your peer group and all of that, and you're beginning to see another kind of a life outside, and you're beginning to, like, you know, have a desire for that. Let's say a friend's parents have a beautiful relationship and they have a very harmonious atmosphere at home, so the child will then of course start to desire that. So there is a dichotomy that is happening, however, inside, because what's going to take place is the subconscious is running one program, but the conscious is desiring another. And now let's take a scenario where, you know, this person has become an adult and he or she wants to get together with someone, you know, get in a relationship. What's taking place is now the conscious mind is desiring this beautiful connect, desiring this, you know, the right kind of a fit, the right person coming my way. But the subconscious is holding a fear, because what has happened is the man and the woman relationship, how it is supposed to be, yeah, has been set into place at that point of time. So this guy or this girl is feeling, why am I not being able to get the right person in my life who's going to be able to make me feel this way or that way? And all that's happening is this saboteur coming up because it feels fearful of a connection, because the only connection that it knows is that of a lot of fight and a lot of bickering. Yeah. So subconsciously, you're not wanting it, but consciously you're wanting it. So there are two of yous operating here. and obviously you're screwed. Yeah. As if this is not enough. Yeah. Let's move to the second layer of programming, which again impacts what you're experiencing on the outside. So your skin suit, which you and I are, and the DNA technology that runs the skin suit is what? It is coming from your ancestry. Yeah? The seed that you are is all your ancestry lineage. So all those illnesses that are there in your genetics, or the ways of being, or the patterns that your ancestry has been carrying, for instance, the lacks and whatever, has been beautifully given to you in you know, like it's like you've inherited it. So you're holding all of that as well. And that's in your unconscious, so that's even deeper. Now, you would be already by now feeling, oh my God, so that means it's all doom and gloom. Because when you then bring in the quantum bylaw into equation, you're like, okay, that means I am not going to be able to experience that on the outside that I truly desire. So there is another layer here now, and that is the planet. So Earth has gone through a huge amount of stuff. We all know, we've all been through it by way of our ancestry, been through it. So we've had the likes of the famines and the floods and the battles and the Great Depressions and all of that. Now, all of that has been imprinted as a memory. And that memory is what we are partaking from, because everything is energy, right? So all of that is there in the memory field of the planet as well. And you start to interact with that memory field. So you may be holding a fear, which is totally unfound for the current scenario. And you're wondering why you're feeling that way. It probably can be coming from somewhere else, which is much more deep rooted. And you don't even know where it is coming from. So I'm just going to be talking about these three levels of programming today. And we can get in much more deeper because there are many sub-facets to it. So this is not just it. There are many other reasons and many other factors that are impacting our manifestations on the outside. So we will be talking about some of them. I mean, for instance, I can even speak about a little bit on entanglement. I'm holding a particular set of emotions, the other is holding another set of emotions, same set of emotions. And these two sets of emotions interacting with each other. And I don't know whose emotion I'm feeling. I may not be feeling that way right now, but the moment I come in touch with this friend of mine, I suddenly start to partake from that emotional charge, energy space. And then I end up feeling down and out, you know. So there are a lot of these things which we are going to be addressing in the subsequent chats. However, for today, what I want to say is that I use an analogy of this quantum bylaw, and I say it's almost akin to as if we are in a hall of mirrors, and the mirror, which is life, is going to be reflecting back to you whatever it is that you're holding, feeling, being, and fearing. So, I mean, okay, you would be now saying to me that, okay, you've given me the problem. What is the solution? The solution here, of course, is this time, I'm pretty sure it sounds quite daunting. But yes, there is a solution to it by way of getting to know yourself. So the solution starts from when you start to take a dive deep down into you. And it can be like getting into this rabbit hole, you know, and you're just going deeper and deeper and deeper. However, don't let it deter you. We have a lot of modalities that we use here. In fact, a lot of my clients have really come out of that space of holding these beliefs and, you know, programs that have been running their life. And they've really come into a beautiful space of neutrality. In fact, just the other day, someone, a very dear client who's now become a very dear friend, she was telling me, man, and she calls me Man M. What have you done to me? I don't feel a thing. I'm like more or less neutral. She's here. I'm pretty sure she knows I'm talking about her. So, so yes, we can be working on ourselves, and you have to go deep down into your own self. You have to look at your shadow aspects. You have to bring them on board by way of speaking with them, being with them, making them feel comforted, integrating them into you, and then stepping into your, or your I am presence fully steps into you. Now these are all words for, you know, a talk another day, but I am pretty sure that you've kind of got the gist of what I wanted to say. And yeah, I mean, there are so many modalities that can be used. Hypnosis is another one, channeling, getting to know what is being held inside, um, and not feeling. Yeah, so the biggest thing here is not feeling like as if you're the receiving end of life, because that pulls down your energy field, and then that brings in your physical body also, because what then happens is it brings out, so it brings your sympathetic and your parasympathetic system. And what that does is it starts to screw up your fight and flight and your other responses, which are all tied in with your emotional, the hormones. Yeah. So you go haywire, which is also again causing a havoc in the physical body. So you even end up feeling flatulence, or migraines and all of that take place, just to name a few. So yeah, we are not at the receiving end of life. In fact, life is originating from us if you've understood quantum. And I always say to my clients that if you truly live, breathe, drink, eat, sleep quantum, you will really be able to completely transform your life. You need to continue to do it every single day, continue to see every single day what's happening outside, and see it only as a reflection of you. So the good news is that um, the reins are in your control, and you can shift scenarios for yourself at your own will. I think I've covered whatever I wanted to for today, Divya. So we can probably move on to the question answers. And I would like to say here that please don't hesitate. Just come out with any doubts also with regards to this talk, or anything else that you would want to ask. And we would love to have your feedback, guys. I mean, whatever it is that you would want us to speak about, here on, as we are going to be doing this on a regular basis. So do let us know. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the talk, Tara. It was really, really nice. I mean, it's really brought a lot into perspective. Like we were just talking about it actually the start of the talk, like the fact that the outer is always a reflection of the inside. So, okay, so I haven't received any questions yet.
Okay.
Okay, so can I just like quickly mention about the question and answer section, because we've had a couple of more participants join in.
Sure, sure.
So everyone, just to let you know, please do send in your questions via the chat. And as you do, submit your questions, I will read them out for Tara to respond. If, however, at that time you would like to speak with her, please let me know, and then I can unmute your mic. So just letting everyone know that. Okay. Okay, so we already started getting...
Can I say something here?
Yes.
There was already a question that had come in even before the talk, which I sent to you. So just cover that as well. Yeah.
Yes. So,
from Debbie.
Yes. Okay, so Debbie's question was how to bring oneself into balance. And one sec. Yeah, and where things balance out.
Okay. Okay. So the space of balance, obviously, now once you've heard all of this, we clearly are totally out of balance all the time, holding all these emotional charges inside us and feeling overly sensitive or overly fearful or overly pessimistic about life. Yeah. So of course we're totally completely out of balance. So there's a lot of things that actually, help you coming into balance. And all of these are needing to be done at the same time with each other. Yeah. So to begin with, it's very important to have a spiritual hygiene which you need to be maintaining, because the physical body is a very important factor for us here, and through the physical body you're experiencing life. So if the physical body is not fully in balance and is not on board, there's no way that you could move forward, leave alone achieve anything. Yeah. So um so the physical body, to work on the physical body, of course, breath is a beautiful way. So a daily practice of some, even if you just do about 10 minutes or 7 minutes of some nice deep breathing breath work, I'm pretty sure you would have realized how it made you feel as we did it today. So you can do your own version of it. There's a lot of free resource available on YouTube, so you can access any of that. Apart from that, I truly believe in a lot of offering gratitude for whatever life has ended up providing for us. Because even if we are truly in a very bad situation, you will definitely have something to thank for in your life. Definitely, even if it's just that one thing. So starting off from there is a very important factor. So once you have your energy balanced from within and setting the tone of the day, the first thing will then ensure that you start to attract experiences that are more harmonious, because you're the one who's setting the tone of the day. You know, quantum by law, the law of resonance, whatever it is that you're holding inside is what you end up attracting from the outside. So once you bring yourself to balance and once you've offered gratitude, you will be receiving more situations to offer gratitude for. So this is one step. The other, of course, is then you go deeper into a clearing space where you start to look at your childhood traumas, which ended up giving you certain beliefs that have made you feel not good enough, which is the feeling that you're feeling as you're going for that coveted job. And the reason you probably don't end up getting it is the interview went well, you had beautiful academics, you were fully prepared, you were confident, but the reason is that there's this niggling feeling inside. And you don't even need to speak because it's all quantum. It just ends up being communicated to the interviewer. And the guy's like, no, I think I will probably, she's not the right fit for the job. And well, okay, a few reasons here and there, but not fully being able to say, okay, why she's not the right fit. Of course, the reason is because you're holding this feeling. So belief and programs are a very important factor there. And there are many other factors which are contributing to you coming into a space of balance so that you can experience balance from the outside, which we are going to be speaking on, in our next talk. So I've spoken about entanglements. I've spoken about, to a lot of you, I've spoken about, even certain traumas that are coming from the past life. So for the ones who don't believe in past lives, your ancestry is your past life. So whatever they have been holding, believing, feeling, and carrying as a pattern, which is just kind of spiraling, yeah, and it's then been ending up in you, is what you are experiencing, living and breathing. So yeah, I think I have answered the question. I don't know if Debbie feels that she needs to ask a further question. She can. Otherwise, we can move on to the next.
Yeah. Okay. So the next question is from Devika. Her question is, how do we clear belief systems?
Okay. So as we've spoken, the beliefs that are being carried inside. Now, these beliefs are very, very deep rooted. And I'll give you the example of just one program which is holding a huge amount of beliefs in it. So, program of feeling like a victim, which means, nothing goes my way. I'm at the receiving end of life and all of that. that goes and attaches itself to your um, endocrine system. That starts to play havoc in your hormonal system then. And and as you're in the process of clearing beliefs by way of doing inner child, which is nothing but going and looking at your shadow aspects. So you have these inner child meditations that you need to do, which is, you bring in your shadow aspect to you, and your shadow aspect is, of course, hurt or wounded or whatever, traumatized. So you need to go and comfort that shadow aspect of you. So, yes, however, there are many things that are connected with that. You will not be able to connect to your own shadow aspect till the time your vibrations are not nice and high. You'll be like doing it, in a robotic way through the YouTube, however, not really feeling it. So the feeling space is very important because your heart is the biggest electromagnetic generator. And from that space, when you start to feel something, you've already started to create it onto the outside. So vibrations again come here. They're a very important factor because that will then draw your awareness also to what more is it that you're carrying inside. And plus, like I've said, and I really lay a lot of importance on this, gratitude. Because whoever is making you experience whatever you're experiencing is actually also a GPS. Actually, if you look at it, it's like pointing you inwards and showing you, look, you still have this, look, you still. And then what happens is, once you've kind of integrated that pain, yeah, by way of removing the beliefs and going through the whole process of the inner child and all of that, your physical body starts to come on board. Then your emotional body is getting lighter and lighter, and your true I am presence is then able to come into your being. So everything goes hand in hand, and gratitude is a very important. That's the key, actually. That really is the key. And bringing you to a space of being able to offer gratitude again is connected with vibrations. So it's sort of a catch-22. Your vibrations have to be nice and high for you to be able to feeling that, and you're feeling that. So how do you bring up your vibrations? So you have to be working on it every single day. So I've answered, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So the next question is, so we have all these programs and they have been set in. Is there a way of overwriting these programs?
Yeah. Okay. So, mind is it's got a very interesting ability. And you would have heard sorry, Dr. Joe Dispenza speak about it. I really like quite a lot of his videos and stuff, and also he's spoken about the fact that your mind is holding a particular memory of something. Now that memory is what is making you continuing to feel a particular way. So there is a way to overwrite and I call it rescripting. Yeah, so we do a lot of rescripting here as well, which is nothing but changing your experience. However, for you to rescript again, you have to see this particular life as a story. So we all in the matrix, and we feel that our life is very, very so okay, let me try and word this differently. We are holding on to life very tightly, as in, this is my story, this is who I am, this is what I'm made of, these are my family members, and so on and so forth. Now, do you even know that you're a multidimensional being? And being a multidimensional being, you don't just have one story, you have many storylines. So when you start to understand all of that by way of understanding what the energetic field is all about, and going deeper into even understanding this field, quantum, you will be able to get answers to all of that. So you're not then holding on tightly to a particular story. If you're not, you're letting go of that story. And a lot of my clients have been able to come to that space. In fact, next time onwards, we are going to be doing some case scenarios as well. So some of them have kindly, really they're very enthusiastic to come here and share, so that, people actually see what's happening and to receive help. Um, so we are going to be doing, some case scenarios as well. But yes, you can let go of a story. However, again, for that, you first have to start to do belief work, where you're addressing your programs. Then again, gratitude as a daily practice, and some amount of meditation, which is going to help you release your increase your vibrations, and hence increase your awareness.
Okay, thank
So yeah.
you. Okay, so the next question is from Lekha. She's like, is it possible to change your core personality or traits? Like if a person is introverted, non-assertive, and a worrier, is it possible to change that? Also, how would you define balance?
Okay. So I think about balance, we've already answered that question, so I wouldn't be answering it again. But let's look at the personalities and how and where do they get formed. So we have certain um, factors that are contributing to your personality. Yeah. And of course, as we have seen, the child, the example that we just spoke about, this child who's seeing all of this taking place in front of him and has a program where there is fear of getting together with another, connected in a relationship. The person's personality would have definitely been impacted by that trauma that he or she has had. So personality is a very important, or actually is originating from whatever you've experienced. So the moment you're beginning to shift, morph, tweak your programs, and by way of that, you are beginning to turn around, your personality starts to change. I've had people here, real-time examples, who, in fact, and she's here right now, whose personality has totally started to shift. And she was someone who was very kind of, even though she was a very fiery person, but then she was someone who was not really able to come out, and used to feel very conscious. However, she's been able to beautifully come out and she's fully claiming who she truly is. So yeah, personality changes definitely, for sure. Because remember, what are you addressing? You're addressing the core. You're not working here, you're going deep down into the root and pulling out the reasons that have actually created you as that personality type. So yeah, definitely. Of course, for sure. I mean, for me, I tell people, okay, if there's no manifestation happening on the outside, that means you are probably, definitely not there yet, because there is no way, and I'll say this again, there is no way that the outer won't shift. I am an example of that. I've gone through a huge amount of stories and stuff, relationship areas, divorce, having a little baby to fend for and not really knowing what to do, because I myself was a little baby at that point of time, not mature at all. But I stepped out of all of that so beautifully. Of course, it takes time. It takes a lot of inner work, and but it's definitely possible. It is something that's very doable. I mean, I was in the space where I used to feel like, I'm at the receiving end of life, and I used to feel hopeless. And every time, something used to happen, I just used to be so disappointed and completely, down and out, and life cannot happen and all of that. And from that space, I have totally shifted and become a totally different person. So I was an introvert at that time, I can say, although I had traits of being very outgoing as well. But I had a personality type which was that of being an introvert. I wasn't comfortable with people. And today in front of you, I'm doing this talk. So, well, that shows you.
Okay. Okay. So the next one's from Anu. Her question is: when you know this concept, everything that happens around us is because of us, and that becomes overwhelming because you feel you have a truckload of issues that needs to be cleared in the subconscious. Because uh, some of us come from some screwed up or dysfunctional families. Even though you know you can come out, it is tiring to even think that you have so much to deal with.
Yeah, I totally understand that. Um, because, I mean, talking about dysfunctionality, so one of my clients who I'm working with, they're actually twins, and they're here too, I think so. They have been going through, they've had huge, massive dysfunctionality in their childhood, any and all kind of abuse that you can think of. They've had physical, sexual, mental, emotional, that completely marred their personality. So again, I totally empathize with the fact that yes, it is very, seems to be a very daunting task because you're holding so much. So I would suggest something to you, Anu. Start off with, so break it in piecemeals, yeah? Don't look at it as a whole huge thing that you need to address right now, because that will make you feel more relaxed. And that's what you need to be in. Because don't be in a hurry. With this kind of a thing, you cannot be in a hurry. So start off with just meditation, a daily practice of meditation. And also, it'll be important for you to build trust as well, by the way, because I do feel, as I'm tuning into your energy field, that there is some trust issues, maybe because of some foundation missing out. So there will be some amount of, by the way you ask the question, I feel you're someone who has a little bit of a background, so probably you would know what grounding means and how to do it. So I think just connect with the earth energy and ground yourself. Yeah, that will bring up your trust. And from there, you are beginning to come into a space, because see, when you have trust, you know that you're being taken care of. Trust is a very important factor for that, right? That you know that you're being taken care of. So no matter what you're holding, but you know that you're being taken care of, you will be able to slowly by and by step out. And also, what's then going to be happening is you're going to be coming into a space of surrender. Because only when you have trust can you give up controls, right? Otherwise you can't. Otherwise you feel that no, I'm the only one who has to make this thing happen. I cannot surrender. So that is what I feel probably will help you. If you want, you can get in touch with Divya, and through her you can get in touch with me, and we can speak as well personally. Um, and maybe I can give you some cues, maybe you may not be wanting to discuss stuff in this forum right now here. So we can always do that, yeah. Did I answer the question, Divya? I did, right? Yeah. So the balance one, because I've already answered.
Yes.
And actually all of this is a part of coming into a place of balance, yeah.
Okay. The next question is from Aritra. His question is: I used to and still have these deep-seated programs of separating from the world and being completely neutral, a form of strengthening or Stoneheart or Stoic viewpoint, but it directly sometimes goes against the empath in me. Is there a balance where I can continue my life as a Stoic as it feels right in my bones, but also be in tune with emotions and empathy?
Mm-hmm. Can you read the first part of the question again?
Okay, the first part is I used to and still have
I
these,
used to.
yeah, I used to and still have these deep-seated programs of separating from the world and being completely neutral.
Okay, I got it. Yeah. So, what's actually taking place, Arithro, is that because there's so much of stuff that's gone on, um, the place that you call neutral is actually akin to, close to you, desensitizing yourself so as not to feel. However, you have another space inside you, which is, like you also said, that of an empath. Yeah. So there are two of yous that are operating actually. As I'm tuning into your energy field, I'm picking that up. So neutrality, the way we understand is a space of coming into a wholeness and a balance within, by way of removing all of those programs and beliefs, and coming into an integration basically of all of your shadows. So that's a space from where you don't feel the need to go into a zero space. Zero as in what you call neutrality. Yeah. So you're not feeling, you are not going into that space at all. From that space, it's like you are an empath and you are feeling stuff and you are feeling all of that. However, you are feeling it from the heart space versus your lower chakra space. So the response is going to be totally different. But in this case, there are two of yous that are there. So one of you who's probably not feeling very safe to show emotions is also there. And then there's another who is kind of, this empath and is really kind of wanting to interact and be friendly. So you might be finding yourself to, go like this. So sometimes you're here and then other times you're on the other side. Did I answer his question fully?
I think so, yes.
Okay. In case you have further questions, guys, if you have, if you want to seek more clarification, please just resend to Divya saying that I've already sent this question and I just need a clarification.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one is from Priya Raghuvanshi. I also believe that she would like to get her, have her mic.
Okay.
Not. So let me read out the question and then unmute her.
Yeah.
So her question is, given the current times, a lot of people have lost their jobs and or are living in the fear of what next, no money, etc. So whilst these are linked to deep-rooted emotions, what steps can one take to deal with it? Like in the moment, like, immediate steps that they can take that can help them cope with the emotion of fear. I'm just gonna ask her to unmute.
Yeah.
Priya, could you please, unmute, yeah.
Hi, Meeta. So
Hi,
I think,
Tara.
thanks. Yes, to keep getting confused, but anyways, I'm gonna call you Meeta. But yes, I think I'm basically asking this for friends who are going through this at the moment and always ask me how to deal with these kind of emotions.
Yeah.
I know that we've done the work and it's been a long 2-year journey with you, but is there anything that you could tell them to, and what could I do? How can I help, or what could they do if immediate therapy is not something that they could look at? Then in the interim, what do you recommend besides meditation? I know is one way of coping with this, but if there's anything else that you could recommend they do to not give more energy to that fear, and to be able to deal with that stress, especially in a corporate world. I mean, it's not easy, the politics and negative energies that you have around you and you have to deal with, to add to your own emotions. So yeah, just anything else besides meditation, like a certain thought process or a way of thinking.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I mean, meditation, of course, is going to help majorly, but fear is nothing but a false evidence appearing real. So the person or whoever is going through the situation, I feel will definitely definitely going to be gaining from a lot of self-talk. So they'll have to continue to, re-emphasize the space of I'm not, all is not lost. Yeah. So that's just step one, because you have to continue to say that this is just something which is false, which is appearing real. Well, it is real on the outside right now, but you have to continue to say that to yourself for you to bring yourself to a space of not feeling the fear. Because what's happening is, with your energy field, when you're holding fear, the charge, life is going to be bringing you more situations to feel fearful of, right? So that is something that needs to go. Now, how can that go? So again, like I said, trust energy is what is going to let fear out. So there'll be a continuous mental process or a mental chatter that is going on in this person or these people, which needs to be halted in that moment, stunted. So what happens is that as the mind is beginning, either you can probably use breath will be really helpful. So the moment you find yourself going down that dark path, dark path, yeah, of course it is, because it's screwing with your head. So the moment you find yourself going down that dark path, you need to just take some deep breaths. Even anxieties, people who are having anxieties and all of that, it really helps. So breathing is something which is beautiful, and you can do it anywhere. Let's say you've gone for an interview and it hasn't come through or whatever, and you're kind of finding that you're getting into a panic attack kind of a situation. Go into the loo or washroom or wherever you can. Go into your car and just breathe and say, I'm fine, I'm safe. Your body is storing a huge amount of programming, by the way, and trauma. So as you're feeling that, you can continue to do this to your body, and you can just say, we're safe, we're fine, we're being taken care of. Things are okay, things are going to be happening for us. These kind of techniques are very important as well. But for me, me, Priya, I'm going to say there is so much of free resource available today on YouTube. So none of us can have an excuse of not being able to financially do it. If somebody says that you're not able to, then that's probably, sorry to say, kind of a finding a way out of it and not really wanting to do it. So if the person is not really wanting to do it, then there is another reason for it. There can be a deep-rooted karmic stuff also holding the person back, by the way. Otherwise, there's so much of resource available on YouTube. I mean, you have the likes of, sorry, yeah.
No, I completely agree. There are resources out there. But I guess, yeah, I mean, you can resort to that as well, that those kind of those kind of tools. But of course, nothing compares to being able to speak to somebody one-on-one and being able to tune in and understand, fine-tune it and understand what exactly is wrong.
So you could probably even ask that friend of yours to maybe get in touch with Divya, and then she can share my details and get in touch with me. I can probably give her some pointers directly as well. However, these are the different methods. Also, there's another one. Michael Seeley is someone who I really find very comforting. He's got a very soothing voice. At night, tell the person to hear that, yeah, removing the, there's so many meditations there that are there around removing the anxiety. But the biggest tool that's going to help the person is self-talk. So the person has to continue to talk to themselves, also the body, because body is a very important part of your entire energetic field. And there's a lot of emotion that's stored in the body.
Got it. Are these dialogues something that you could look at incorporating in future sessions, like what that dialogue should look like, or what should be? I don't know, like I know I used to keep asking you, what do I, like when you would always guide me to do inner child meditations, which I found extremely difficult, and I just didn't know how to start a dialogue or even talk. I think you guided me literally by starting a conversation, and then one thing led to the other, so just an idea, maybe future sessions, maybe you could help.
Sure. Yeah. We could look at that. Yeah. We could look at that. As in how to do the introspection. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next question is from Raj Kumar. So there are two questions. The first one is, how do we come to a no thought situation? And the second one is, if we meet an angry person, then how do we pay gratitude to that person?
Okay, so question number one. Actually, can I answer the second question first? Because that will lead to question number one. So the second question is, if the person comes in touch with an angry person, then how to deal with it? Is that it, Divya?
Yes, that is it. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So anger is obviously a reaction coming from some stored trauma is the word that I can use, where you are oversensitive, yeah, about something that has happened, and you are using that to protect yourself. So basically, you feel under threat, yeah, and then you are responding to that person to be able to protect yourself. That's what really anger truly is. So anger is that emotion. Now, how to deal with anger? You need to go through the other emotions to reach anger, because anger is something which will always be felt when you even come to a place of no thoughts. That's what he said, right? And why am I saying that? It is going to be felt through your heart space. Right now, it's being felt through the lower chakras because that's where most of humanity is existing. However, when you come to a space of zero thought, you start to exist into your heart space. So all these emotions are going to be felt from there. And that's the reason there's not going to be any residue. So the kind of anger that you feel from the heart space and the kind of anger that you feel from the lower chakra is totally different. You're going to be irritated and agitated, and you won't want to speak to the other and all of that for days, and you'll hold something against that person, and you hold a residue in your being also, you know, and you'll probably not be able to forgive if you're feeling it from the lower chakra space. But from a higher space, you're going to be feeling it differently. So how to deal with it is what he has asked. Now, I know there are a lot of these theories out there that count to 10, and it never worked for me because even before I would start, you know, reaching 2, I would have totally retorted and, you know, raised my voice and gone berserk in the moment, because I come from my heart space. And a lot of people who are very, very, come from their true, authentic heart space, they're not able to control their emotions. And, you know, they can go totally crazy in the moment and stuff. So without doing the inner work, which is removing these spaces where you're holding beliefs and programs and all of that, and doing your daily practice and all of that, is there a way to control the anger? Yes, the traditional way of the mind. So even though I know, you know, I am a big believer in using cognitive and marrying the heart together, yeah, the bliss space, because that is what gives you the perfect picture on the outside. However, if you're trying to control yourself, because that will be akin to controlling when you're kind of breathing and when you're counting up to 10, you know, and then you won't say anything in the moment. However, the moment you move out of that space, you will still be feeling all of that. So I'll tell you another thing, which will be a short story, which is going to help you not feel angry. And that's going to tie into question number 1, is it? No, question number 2, which is how to come into a no mind space. So in the soul form, or whatever you would like to say, this is what's been handed down to me by way of the different training schools that I've been taken to and stuff and all of that. In the soul form, you are the one who's choosing your life. See, you are the one in along with your higher self, who's chosen every single bit of every situation that you're experiencing right now. So these experiences that you've chosen and the experience of anger, with the person, whoever is that person, has also been put in place by you. And this experience of where you've ended up feeling anger because of whatever program that you're carrying is actually a big game changer opportunity for you. So it's carrying in its field a potential for you to exit out of that space totally. So I'm saying the cell, which is having this space in between from where it's going to be able to step into another program, a positive belief space. Yeah. So what's happening is that interaction that you're having with this other needs to be viewed with that mindset. So this mindset can be, you can start to inculcate by way of practicing it, because practice is what will really make it fully be ingrained in you. You can do it by way of practicing it, by way of reminding yourself that this is just a GPS. So the guy who's triggering me is actually the GPS telling me, go within, go within, go within. So outside is not even existing. And at the beginning of the talk, I said, if we understand quantum, the life is made. Because when you understand that everything is energy, and this person who's coming into your environment is only a reflection of you, yeah, your anger starts to dissipate. There have been people, there's a client of mine, and she said to me that, I'm not feeling so angry any longer. I'm pretty sure she's on the call as well right now today. Because by way of understanding, so it starts off with, what am I feeling angry with this person for? Because he's only an 8. He's only helping me see what it is that I am still carrying inside me that needs to be loved. What have I rejected about myself? Yeah. So when you start to change your perspective and start to look at it in this way, the anger starts to reduce. So it may take a few set of experiences with that person or with that situation. However, people who are doing this, like the people who work with me, they have been able to come to that situation where the emotion of anger is very less. There is no, it's very organic. It just happens on its own. There's no effort needed. So you have to continue to remind yourself. So now coming to a zero space is nothing but holding an equal balance of the masculine and the feminine energy, your right and your left hemispheres. And that will take a lot of integration again. However, you are unplugging from the matrix, and the biggest ingredient for that is knowing and believing yourself to be free. The moment you've given your power away to anything on the outside, yeah, you are just part of the herd. Yeah, you will continue to remain stuck in the matrix, in the game. You cannot step out. So the biggest prerequisite is seeing yourself as a sovereign being and setting yourself free from all of these dogmas and beliefs and programs and stuff and all of that that we've been given and imprinted with for eons. We need to now step out. I mean, the energies that are coming in have really been amped up right now. So we're receiving so much of help as well. I'm talking about the eclipses and all these full moons and stuff. And all of us who are here right now know that that really plays a huge role in our processes as well, So it's going to be able to help you then to finally set you free. And that is true freedom, a space of empowerment. That's what my work is all about, taking your controls and power back from the emotions or from the people or from the experiences, the situations that you've given your power to. Because they are the ones who are kind of, using you as a puppet. You're just being used as a puppet. The moment something really good happens, you're like all up there, and then suddenly, so you have these peak and troughs. You are a set of peaks and troughs then. So I hope I answered that question.
So actually, so there was Sarbari who had sent those questions. She wanted me to clarify that. Okay. So the next question is, hi Tara, I wonder how our past karmas and the karmic ties or contracts come into play here. I always believe that everything we experience or get in contact with is karma, and the only free will we have is how we respond to it or such circumstances.
So can you read the question again? Sorry.
Okay, so I'm saying, I wonder how our past karmas and the karmic ties or contracts come into play here. I always believe that everything we experience or get in contact with is karma, and the only free will we have is how we respond to it or to such circumstances.
So if we believe, and from the matrix, I mean, from underneath the matrix, plugged to the matrix, we cannot help but believe that the theory of karma is very legit, you know. So I'm going to be addressing the question from that space, yeah, because in my space, it doesn't exist. Yes, there are certain things which you have finally come to clear, and then you have stepped out of it, yeah. But yeah, karma is something which is also part of your story that you've come down here with. So you are going to be having a set of experiences, and those experiences are going to be giving rise to another set of experiences, which are going to be then ending up forming your destiny. And then you'll be like, I'm locked into this space. So I don't have a free will then. I was watching Merlin yesterday. It was really nice. And in that, the dragon, I don't know those of you who watched Merlin on Netflix, and the dragon actually is telling Merlin that, you know, there is no free will that you're having in this respect or whatever. Yeah, you have chosen that for yourself, and you will be moving forward in that. So yeah, in that respect, have we really chosen all of that? Yes, we have. But remember one thing, that experience, or that whatever it is that you've chosen, is carrying a doorway out to doorway to freedom. It's a doorway to freedom. It's carrying the probability through which you will step into being free of all of that, because that opportunity or that experience or that karmic situation actually has been picked by you. For what reason? So that you can resolve it, right? Not for you to continue to live it and then just kind of you know, go crazy with it, right? So obviously you have carried that so as for you to transmute it. So I wouldn't believe that there is nothing that can be done when there is an opportunity that's been presented. That opportunity needs to be looked at in the right manner, and the right manner is look at what beliefs you're carrying, look at how the situation is reflecting back to you what you're carrying. Yes, so you come out of that scenario. You may still be having the same situations and circumstances. However, your way of looking at it has changed. So I'll give you an example for me, yeah, here, and that probably will explain it to you. So for me, in my family, you know, my side of the family, like my mom's side and my dad's side, they don't have partners who've really stayed with them for very long, yeah, due to whatever reason. And the husband or the wife has just crossed over. So there's been a huge relationship karma, if you may, that the whole ancestry has been carrying. So, and I'm talking about my immediate family, I'm not talking about the extended family. So what's happened is, because of that, obviously I've been imprinted with that also. So I've been struggling all my life in the relationship area, and I've been wanting that right kind of partner and that right situation and all of that. And that was plaguing me a lot. And yes, you can say that that was my karmic deal. However, after I have gone through my process and I've worked through situations and removed beliefs and programs and come into a space of wholeness, that need for a connection leaves me. I come into a beautiful space of balance. I'm not saying I don't want it, but there is no need around it. And remember, guys, the quantum bylaw says what? whatever vibrational frequency you are holding, yeah, and you need to be in a neutral space, yeah, for you then to experience something that, is also whole. Because till the time I was carrying that charge, I was attracting people who were also carrying that similar charge, and then the experience is that of not a good experience. It's coming from an empty space in both the cases for both the parties. So you finally come to that space where then you will be able to attract something which is not coming from an empty space. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the next one is from Mukhayo. He said, yeah, Mukhayo, it was a pleasure to listen to Tara. The breathing part was great to remember to do it and how great it makes you feel. So thank you. The question is, when is the next talk?
Very soon, Mukhayo, believe me. I'm sure people, my beautiful friends like you, are going to be pushing me to bring out the next one. So very soon. I think we are probably looking at maybe it being a bi-monthly, right, Divya? So we will be doing it in once a fortnight. So we are going to be, in fact, we are going to be coming out with a whole lot of other stuff also. So you'll be quite excited. So, do send in your details, the invitees of the guests, the guests of the invitees also, the ones who haven't given in your numbers, so that we can have you in the list, and then we can send out the next invite to you directly instead of, going it via someone else.
Okay. The next question is by Ori. The question is, why is it important to act out during releasing or clearing?
Okay. So your program is in 3 spaces. Yeah. It is your physical body, your emotional body, and your mental body as well. Yeah. So there is an etheric body also, but I don't want to bring it in here. Yeah. So when you are experiencing the program take place, your mental first starts off by way of a thought. For instance, someone is irritating me, even the look of the person irritates me. Yeah. So it starts off by a thought. Now the thought then gives rise to a feeling in the heart space, and you start to feel this irritation in your heart space very acutely. After that, you would be needing to act it out. Yeah. And once you've acted it out, it has completed a cycle. However, when you want the program to be out, when it has to be ousted out totally, you have to break the cycle. So first things first, eliminate or X out the physical body acting out. So the need to act out has to be eliminated. So let's say a thought has come and then a feeling comes up after the thought. You just need to stop yourself there and then say, but the person is only here to help me. So he's only an aid, So why am I, going crazy about it? So just in that moment also, and I know that you are in that space, sorry, but in that moment you're able to give that gratitude, yeah, and you're not feeling those emotions so strongly. So in that moment when you give that gratitude, yeah, instantly the charge has left you. You will not feel the need to act out. And slowly what happens is, because already I know, and I know you're fine with me to talk about it, so that's why I'm talking about it, that even the emotions have started to move away now from you. You're not feeling so much of it in your emotional body. And the thought will finally leave you as well once the program is gone. So this is how you've kind of totally X'd out a program. Of course, there's a lot of inner work that goes in, which is around looking at your beliefs and integrating, going through your inner child processes and integrating those hurt aspects of you inside of you and all of that. So yeah, I hope I've answered the question. I think I have. Yeah.
Okay, the next question is by Ark Goswami. The question is, what is your higher self and how to connect and become your higher self?
Okay. So your higher self or your true I am presence is nothing but an integrated aspect of you, let me say. Um, and it's this, the reason we call it, it's this being of light, because we are seeing from our limited space of still holding the programming and still not being integrated and all of that. That's the reason we call it a light being, which is this future self of yours and all of that. However, the only way to have your true I am presence or your higher self, descend into you, which is what has happened with me and so many other people as well. The only way to do it is again by clearing the space that you are. So the whole electromagnetic field, including your auric field, needs to be cleared up, including all your bodies need to be cleared up. So the ones who are new, you must be wondering, what does she mean, all your bodies? So we have a physical body, a mental body, an emotional body, an etheric body, and a spiritual body. So this is where all the programs are being carried. We are going to be addressing these topics as we move along. So yeah, so once you've done that, that's the way your higher self can then fully descend into you, because your higher self also needs the physical body to be fully in form, let me say that, or in a space of not holding any of these programs, because like I said, the endocrine system holds a victim program, and a victimizer program is held in the adrenal glands. So all your parasympathetic and the sympathetic is fully on board and causing havoc out there with your fear of fight and flight getting activated and you getting very aggressive and stuff and all of that. So it's all a lot of this, a lot of it, by way of releasing, clearing, integrating, you finally come to a space of neutrality. You come to a space of neutrality, which is experienced here in the heart space. So it's just a very beautiful, light space where you are totally in love with everything and everyone in life and completely in balance. I'm not saying things don't come about, but they again felt through the heart space by way of blessing. That's it. So yeah, that's the way to integrate your higher self into you, by way of doing all of this. And I think I said what your higher self is. So I am my own higher self now. My higher self said to me that you're your own master. Sorry. And you're your own master. And now I don't need to be. So it's finally integrated into me. Okay.
Okay, the next question is, if you're constantly fighting with someone about the same issues and not making a breakthrough, which is recommended, confronting and sorting things out, or just letting it, be balancing self and praying or attracting positivity?
I didn't understand the question. Sorry.
Okay, so
can you just read it again?
Yeah. Okay, so the question is, if you're constantly fighting with someone about the same issues and not being able to make a big breakthrough, okay, so which is recommended, confronting and sorting things,
okay,
or just letting it be balancing self and basically praying and attracting positivity?
Confronting is not the solution, because who's confronting? It's not you. Your consciousness is receded and the program is running you. That's it. And I'm pretty sure that if someone is finding themselves in this kind of situation, the other person is also having their program run them. So they're just two programs interacting with each other. So who are you going to confront? It's just not going to be, really giving you any other solution but of confrontation, more of it. Yeah. So any kind of confrontation that needs to happen is within. The only space is your inner confrontation that needs to take place, where you see what is the charge that you are holding. Because see, remember one thing, the other is just a mirror reflection of you. So in that sense, the other is not even existing for you. I mean, of course, the person is existing, but in that sense, he's not really, he is just a projection of you, yeah? So it's not your duty to go and set things right for the other, and neither can you. That's just a codependent way of being. So you are only going to be able to set things right for yourself. And that can only happen when you go within. So yeah, to answer that question, that's the best way to do it. Yeah.
The next question is, how do empaths who subconsciously pick up energies from their surroundings keep themselves protected and grounded on a daily basis? Is there any short process you could share?
Yeah, this is something that I've really had a lot come. And the first thing I'm going to be saying is the victim program that is there, which is so not just this, but there are going to be other ways also. But beginning with the victim program, which has gone and attached itself to the endocrine system, and then that starts to run havoc in the body, yeah, is needing to go to begin with, which means you need to start to empower yourself and not feel yourself as being a victim and at the receiving end of life. Life is originating from me and not happening to me. So that is a very big contributing factor, you know, to you continuing to have other energy fields come from the outside and attach to you, and you don't even know about it. And by the end of it, you're carrying so much of dross in your energetic space that you're not even aware of. And that is what, because is getting reflected on the outside, and your life is getting created from that. So I say your vibrations is your currency, you know, and you need to be aware of that. That what is it that you're attaching to yourself, which is coming via your victim program. Okay, yes, so there are a lot of these salt baths and all that people also have recommended. I personally haven't used them, but I believe they really work. All I know of is rock salt, you know, keeping that in a sort of a little bit of a bag or something, and just keeping it next to your sleeping space is going to help. Yeah, clear your energetic fields, because that's a beautiful agent of cleansing. What else? You can use sage or any kind of you know, this dhoop that you burn, anything that's emitting a lot of smoke basically in the house. You can use that to cleanse your space, because that is very important. Your space, you're continuously attracting things, you're interacting with people, you're bringing in energy, and all of that. So doing that, you don't need to do that particular thing every day. You can do it once a week. But when you're doing that, remember, just have one door or one window open. Rest your entire window and doors should be closed, because whatever has been accumulated then should just leave, should not be able to come back in. You know, that's the idea behind it. I'm thinking what else is there. Yes, a very big one. Dropping codependencies. When you feel you're going to be the savior for someone, that need to save someone is what is having that other come and feed off your energy field, because your energy field is compromised at that point of time. You have to remember, you're not the savior for anyone. You cannot save anyone. All you need to do is save yourself, stay in that space of the empowered self, hold space for the other, however, knowing fully well that the carpet area of that person is very sacred for them, and they need to go through the process that they're going through. So you can't take that experience away from that person, because it's very, very important for that person that that person goes through that situation, because only then he or she is going to be stepping out of you know, dependencies or whatever it is that they're carrying inside them. So holding space, yes, but not being there in their space. Also removing codependencies from within you. That's very important. You are not anyone's savior. There is no way you can save anyone. On this planet, the only thing that's there is I am the only one who can who's my own savior, who can help and save myself. No one else can. But when I'm carrying that program, or that's a program running inside you. When I'm carrying that, then I have all these people coming and attaching to my energy field. So codependency is a huge one. You need to give up that. Having your boundaries nice and strong is what is important. Divya, I think we'll just take probably one more question because it's been an hour and a half, I think. And
okay. So
I mean, the ones, if you have more than one question, so how many questions do you have right now?
This is the last one.
Okay, cool. Okay, perfect.
Okay. So this was asked by Anu. How can one remove physically stored emotions from the body? Is it by feeling them or just talking to them or subconscious clearing?
So the physical stored emotions is not just existing in silo, by the way. There would definitely be a link to your other bodies also. Yeah, even an accident has caused something akin to a shock, which is being held in your other bodies, yeah, or a fear or something else, yeah. So it's not just only the physical body which is carrying a particular emotion. However, the way that I have said in the beginning, where you start to talk to your body and you just start to bring it on board and tell the body, you're safe, you're fine, it's okay, we are fine. Because the body is probably beginning to feel under threat. Maybe I've had a scenario like that where someone starts to go into a, this tremors, body tremors, and that's had come because of the person losing their parent. And at that point of time, there was another episode that happened where that was like a shock to that person, because A, this was the loss of a parent, and B, then, a partner was kind of acting up also. So something was happening there. So that's where the tremors started to set in. And obviously for you to resolve something, you have to go back to its base. And only from there you can reset it. So yes, to begin with, it'll help, because when you're starting to talk, it'll then start to take you down. If your awareness is high, it'll take you down to those spaces by way of, just bringing up an image or a thought or whatever. But you have to come from your heart space, that you don't have to just push that thought away thinking, oh, this is just my mind, what am I thinking? You have to pay attention to that thought and trust yourself. So when that thought comes up, that's when you like, probably it's coming from there. Did I have something happen to me at that point of time? And that's the way to do it. That's the way to go about it. So, okay, I guess we've come to the end of the first talk, and we'll definitely be doing more, like we've said. So you can please get in touch with Divya. Thank you so much. It's been a total pleasure. It was awesome interacting. An awesome set of questions coming forth, which shows that people, a lot of interest is there out there, and people are really wanting to understand and know what and how to move forward. So yeah, I'm very, very happy to help. We are both very happy to help, and we are going to be organizing more of such talks. Thank you so much, and thanking everyone who's made this possible, guys, the DJ and the lights and everything, camera in action, and all of you, Divya, especially.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Guys, just a quick thing. Yes, like Tara mentioned, please do give us your feedback in terms of what, y'all would be interested in listening to next, or, understanding, and so on and so forth. Also, for the guests of the invitees, please do send in your details if y'all would like to be part of the, consecutive talks. And what we'll also be doing in the Google form going forward, the RSVP form, is I will be adding a contact detail, because I believe that was something that was mentioned to us this time. So these will be the two changes, but please do get in touch with me directly if you have any questions and if you'd like to get the invites going forward. So thank you so much, guys. And with that,
thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Wonderful being here.